Arthritis breakthrough from a common $6 drug, joint pain relief. Imagine waking up for the first time in months. Your knees don't scream with pain. Your hands actually open without feeling like they're wrapped in barbed wire. And you realize, maybe, just maybe, this isn't how life has to feel forever. In today's video, we're revealing 3 low-cost, science-backed drugs, including one that costs just $6 a month, that are now being called breakthroughs for arthritis pain. And no, we're not talking about some miracle herb or internet hype. These are real medications, fact-checked by health researchers and supported by clinical studies. Whether you're battling knee pain, hand stiffness, or aching hips, these quiet heroes are already helping thousands find relief, without surgery, without injections, and without breaking the bank. And here's the best part. Toward the end of this video, I'll share one, so stay with me. You're about to discover options your joints and your wallet will thank you for. 1. Metformin. Have you ever heard of Metformin? Most people know it as a diabetes drug. But what if I told you it could be a game changer for arthritis too? Yes, that same little $6 pill that's been helping millions manage their blood sugar might now be giving relief to people suffering from painful knees. And not just any kind of relief. We're talking real, measurable pain reduction backed by research. Now let's imagine this. You're someone dealing with constant knee pain, maybe due to osteoarthritis. Walking becomes a chore. Climbing stairs feels like hiking Everest. And even getting out of bed some days is a struggle. And then you hear about this everyday medication, Metformin, that might actually make a difference. Researchers in Australia conducted a fascinating study on people just like you, overweight adults suffering from knee osteoarthritis. These participants didn't have diabetes, but they were given Metformin anyway. And guess what? After 6 months, the results were undeniable. People taking Metformin had significantly less pain than those who got a placebo. In fact, the average pain score dropped by more than 30 points on a 100-point scale. That's not just statistically significant, it's something you'd actually feel. So how does it work? Why would a diabetes drug help with joint pain? Well, Metformin does a few interesting things. First, it fights inflammation. And that's huge, because inflammation is a major driver of joint pain. Second, it promotes modest weight loss. And as we know, every pound you lose reduces the load on your knees. Just 5 pounds off your frame can take 20 pounds of pressure off each knee. But the beauty of Metformin is more than just the science. It's the accessibility. This is not some exotic, experimental injection that costs thousands. This is a widely available, well-tolerated $6 a month pill. Most pharmacies carry it, and for many people, it has very few side effects. Maybe some stomach upset at first, but often manageable or gone after a few weeks. Now, imagine what that means for people in pain, people on fixed incomes, or people who don't want to jump straight to surgery. It opens a door, it offers hope, and more importantly, it offers relief without breaking the bank. Of course, it's not magic. You'll still need to move your body, eat well, and talk to your doctor. But Metformin could be part of a bigger healing picture. One where you wake up and your knees don't scream at you. One where you can walk around the block or dance a little with your grandkids and feel like yourself again. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you're tired of creams, braces, and endless painkillers, talk to your doctor about Metformin, especially if you're carrying a bit of extra weight and struggling with knee pain. It just might be the breakthrough your joints have been waiting for. 2. Methotrexate. Let's talk about Methotrexate, a drug you may have heard of, especially if you know someone with rheumatoid arthritis or certain autoimmune conditions. But here's something you might not know. This same drug is now showing remarkable promise for people dealing with osteoarthritis. Now picture this. Your hands are stiff in the morning. Your fingers don't move the way they used to. Simple tasks like buttoning a shirt or holding a spoon start to feel like a battle. Or maybe your knees ache after a short walk or while climbing stairs. You've been told it's just part of getting older. But what if there was something already available that could ease the pain and stiffness and give you some of that movement and comfort back? That's exactly where Methotrexate is stepping in. Researchers recently ran a trial focusing on people with hand osteoarthritis, specifically those who had signs of inflammation. Over the course of 6 months, participants were given a low weekly dose of Methotrexate. And what they found? Pain scores significantly improved. The people on Methotrexate felt real, noticeable relief, twice as much improvement as those taking a placebo. And this wasn't a one-day wonder. The benefits kept growing over time. By the 6-month mark, the difference was truly impressive. And it's not just the hands. Another study looked at people with knee osteoarthritis who had signs of inflammation. And guess what? The same pattern emerged. Pain was reduced, stiffness eased, and movement improved. All without surgery, without constant reliance on painkillers, and without spending a fortune. So, what makes Methotrexate so effective here? It's all about targeting inflammation. Even in osteoarthritis, what many think of as just wear and tear, there's often low-grade inflammation simmering beneath the surface. Methotrexate helps calm that fire. It doesn't just mask the pain like some over-the-counter meds do. It goes deeper. It changes the way your immune system behaves and lowers the inflammatory signals that are damaging your joints. Now I know, Methotrexate might sound like a strong medication. And it is. It's been used for decades, so doctors understand it very well. It's given in low doses once a week, not every day. And for most people, it's very manageable. Some folks experience mild side effects, like nausea or fatigue, especially early on. But these often improve with time or with adjustments like taking folic acid alongside the drug. And here's something hopeful. Methotrexate might help you delay or even avoid surgery. That's right. If you're on the edge, thinking about joint replacements or constant cortisone shots, this little pill might give you a longer runway. It can help you stay active, maintain your independence, and feel like you're in control again. I think that's what's so powerful about it. It's not just a drug. It's a second chance. A second chance to wake up without dread in your joints, to make a fist without wincing, to walk, to write, to cook, to hug, without that nagging, constant ache. So if your arthritis feels like it's getting the upper hand, and if you're tired of just living with it, maybe it's time to talk to your doctor about Methotrexate. Ask them if it could be right for you, especially if you've got signs of joint inflammation. It might not be for everyone, but for the right person, at the right dose, it could make a world of difference. Remember, pain doesn't have to define your life. Relief could be just one low-cost prescription away, meloxicam. Let's take a moment to talk about something simple and powerful, meloxicam. If you're living with arthritis pain, whether it's in your knees, hips, hands, or back, you know how exhausting it can be. The ache, the swelling, the stiffness. It slows you down, drains your energy, and chips away at your quality of life. But what if I told you that relief could come in the form of a tiny, once-a-day pill that costs as little as $5 a month? Yes, really, meloxicam. It's a generic prescription medication that's been around for years. And while it might not sound fancy or new, it's quietly transforming lives. Why? Because it works. It brings real, dependable relief to people with osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and other forms of joint pain. And it does it without breaking the bank. Meloxicam belongs to a family of medications called NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Think of it like a more powerful cousin of ibuprofen, but longer acting and often better tolerated. Instead of taking pills multiple times a day, you just take one pill once daily and you're good to go. That's convenience and consistency, two things that really matter when you're dealing with chronic pain. Now let's break it down in plain terms. What does meloxicam actually do in your body? It reduces inflammation, the redness, swelling, and internal irritation that fuel your joint pain. And it blocks the enzymes that trigger that whole inflammatory cascade. The result? Less swelling, less pain, and more movement. You're not just masking symptoms, you're calming the storm at its source. People often report that within a few days or weeks of starting meloxicam, they can walk a little further, stand a little longer, sleep a little better. That nagging, throbbing ache that used to wake them up at night? Quieted. And that morning stiffness that made getting out of bed feel like lifting weights? Eased. What's even better is how affordable it is. You don't need to drain your wallet for this kind of relief. In fact, generic meloxicam is available at most pharmacies for as low as $5 to $10 a month. That's less than the cost of a fast food meal. And for that price, you could get your mobility back, your smile back, your life back. Of course, like any medication, meloxicam isn't perfect for everyone. Some people with stomach sensitivities or kidney issues need to be cautious. But for many, especially those who don't respond well to over-the-counter pain meds or need something stronger and longer-lasting, meloxicam is a real gift. It's also worth mentioning how well-studied and trusted this medication is. Doctors have prescribed it for decades. It's not experimental, it's not hard to find, and it doesn't come with a long list of strange side effects. That peace of mind really matters, especially if you've been burned by risky or expensive treatments in the past. So if you're sitting there thinking, I've tried everything, creams, heat pads, supplements, stretching, and I'm still in pain, maybe it's time to ask your doctor about meloxicam. It's one of those simple solutions that often gets overlooked because it's too familiar. But just because it's common doesn't mean it's not powerful. The truth is, you deserve to feel better. You deserve to walk without pain, sleep without tossing and turning, and move through your day without that constant background ache. And sometimes, the answer isn't some fancy new breakthrough. Sometimes, it's a small, proven pill with a big impact, like meloxicam. So don't give up hope. Relief might already be within reach, and it could be sitting right there on your pharmacy shelf. Summary. So here's what we've learned. 3 affordable, research-backed medications are offering real hope to people suffering from arthritis pain. First, Metformin, a common diabetes drug, now showing powerful anti-inflammatory effects for knee osteoarthritis, especially in those carrying extra weight. Then, Methotrexate, long used for autoimmune diseases, is helping reduce hand and knee arthritis pain by calming joint inflammation at its root. And finally, meloxicam, a low-cost, once-daily NSAID, quietly delivering daily relief for joint pain without the hassle of multiple pills or high costs. These aren't miracle cures, but they are science-supported tools that could help you take your life back. One step, one stretch, one pain-free day at a time. If any of this resonated with you, don't stop here. Talk to your doctor. Ask questions. These options are already changing lives, and yours could be next. And remember, that bonus tip I mentioned, the effectiveness of these medications can often be dramatically improved with just a small lifestyle shift, like cutting one common food that silently fuels inflammation. That's something we'll dive into in the next video, so don't miss it. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more fact-checked health guidance, and share this with someone who needs it today. Your healing journey is worth it, and you're not alone.